Hello and welcome. Way to go for showing up for yourself. Way to go for giving yourself this gift of your own breath, your own expansion, your own groundedness, your own possibility of whatever you're wanting, and your own ability to release what's no longer serving you. However, you're showing up is perfect. Giving yourself the space to just open to the magic and the possibility of what's here present in this moment. So, however you're arriving is great. And all aspects of yourself are welcome here. All the parts that you judge, all the parts that we repress or that we push away or that we don't want to look at, and all the parts that we're really proud of, our powerful parts. All those wonderful aspects of ourself are all welcome here as well. So, you want to have at least one blanket, maybe a couple, depending on how cold you get, because temperatures can fluctuate. It's good if you can have a pillow, and this pillow is actually not for under your head, but it's for, if you want, under your knees. You can put it until you want to use it for your primal scream. Now, the primal scream can happen anytime you want. You can start to moan, tone, groan, sigh, scream, express from the very top all the way through if you want. This is your sacred, safe space to have the experience that your body needs and that you're wanting. So the pillow is so if you want to, that you're not quite as loud, you can use the pillow to make those sounds into. You can also turn over because you'll be laying on your back and just make some noise right into either the mattress or the floor or your yoga mat, whatever you're using. That works too. You could use your hands, cup your hands, use your arm, anything you want to use that feels good to you if you're wanting to sort of dampen and muffle the sound a little bit. Or you can just fully go for it if no one's home or if someone's home, but you've told them ahead of time, hey, I'm going to be crying and screaming for the next hour, which I like to make a joke about it to the people around me. And they've gotten used to the idea that if I'm going to do a breathwork class, that I might be making some loud noises, and they're just kind of used to it now. So you can also just invite them to pop on to a Zoom and do a breathing as well. We'll get to the primal scream stuff. So I pull an oracle card, right? Surrender your fear of intimacy. And I like to think of this, especially in our mountain breathwork infused with Reiki classes, as our fear of intimacy ultimately with ourselves. So it says you are ready to let love in, compassionately identify, and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. And this is so perfect because this is all about opening the heart. It's all about feeling safe to soften open, to feel your feelings, to allow yourself to have a full experience. We're going to go on an epic journey. Okay, so you've got your blanket, you've got a pillow, perhaps, you've got some water. You can get quite thirsty and you want to have that water available, especially for at the end. And then you want a place where you can lay down, right? So it could be anywhere where you feel safe and where you can spread out. I like to be in my bed so I can really feel comfortable and safe and I can really spread out. I like to put a noise machine right outside of my bedroom door so it creates that sound barrier so I don't have to feel self-conscious and people in my home know if the sound machine's on, not to bother me, I'm doing a class. And I'll even lock the door, which I never used to like to do. That was a people-pleasing old habit tendency of like, we don't lock doors in our house, but it actually really helps to feel like you can fully be free if you can really carve out that safe sanctuary. Turning off devices, obviously. so there's no distractions. And that can be a really easy distraction. So maybe even putting it in another room, laying down and having your head relatively flat so it's not propped up on a lot of pillows or even on one big pillow, because you want the air to be able to flow with no restriction. So legs are going to be uncrossed, so the channels are fully open. And when the music starts, I'll be playing lyrical music. So the music is not meant to be completely Zen music where you're just not feeling anything, or where you're just feeling super calm and relaxed, like a calm meditation. The music is actually, in this type of breath work, meant to evoke emotion, meant to help you feel whatever you're ready to feel. So, depending on the theme of the class and depending on what's going on for you in the moment that you're doing your breath work, will obviously evoke different emotions. So, just having that expectation of knowing that the music is dynamic, that we start slow with the music and we build, but that the music does have lyrics and that it is meant to have you feel something. Now, you might feel really like blissful from the music, or you might feel like annoyed. And I encourage you to use any feeling you're feeling in regards to the music in your session. So if you're feeling annoyed or triggered even by a song, allow yourself to stay with your breath and see what happens if you are aware of that emotion and you continue to breathe through it. And maybe even start to moan, tone, sigh, scream, express how it's like making you feel, right? So using the music, letting the breath do the work. So when the music starts, we'll relax, open the mouth, just like as if you were asleep and you've fallen asleep and you've fallen asleep with your mouth open. Okay, so relaxing the mouth open. I'm turning off my phone because it's making sounds, part of our process here. Relaxing the mouth open and then allowing the breath to fill into the belly. So you don't have to force anything. So it's just like 80% belly breath, filling that belly like a Pillsbury Doughboy. And then continuing to allow the breath to fill up into the heart chest space. So the last 20% is in the heart chest space. And then a soft exhale. So it's not like a really, really controlled, long, drawn out exhale. Right? It's not that. And it's not a forceful push, like, right? It's just a release, a soft, gentle release, no effort. Just the intention can guide you. So I'll be saying belly, chest, exhale, and keep reminding you. You'll hear me guiding you and reminding you, because it's easy to kind of drop out of it. So I'll come in and I'll say belly, chest, exhale. And so see if you can stay conscious and continuous with that process of belly, chest, exhale. Now, it doesn't matter what pace you go at. You can go slow the whole time, or you can start to pick up the pace as we go. You can start to take in, give yourself a little bit more oxygen. I'll encourage you as we go to give yourself a little more oxygen. And the keys here are to allow yourself to open, to receive, and to surrender. So opening your heart, your mind, your soul, your body, your spirit to the breath and to the magic of the present moment. Opening yourself to receive the breath And then allowing yourself to surrender the breath and to surrender whatever is not serving you. And you don't have to be figuring that out or strategizing that or understanding it in any way. It's just an intention within your being, within your knowing. You also don't have to try really hard. It's totally okay if you're up in your head, especially in the beginning. And if you cry the whole time, you don't do any of the active breathing and you just cry the whole time, that must be what you're needing. If you start laughing uncontrollably, which can definitely happen, totally normal, fine, great, must be what you're needing. If you start moaning, toning, groaning, sighing, screaming, expressing from the very top all the way through, great. Or if you just receive the unconditional love Reiki energy, great. So it's all perfect. Seeing if you can let yourself off the hook of how you think it should look or how you think it should be so that you can open to the experience that's in the present moment and open to trusting your body and the science of the breath work. Seeing if you can let go of comparisons to other experiences, to other classes, to other sessions, so that you can really have a present moment experience that you're ready for. As we were talking about, there'll be a pace and a rhythm. I'll be encouraging you to keep coming home to your belly, chest, exhale. Keep coming home to your breath. Meeting your edge, leaning in, not letting a song take you out of it. If you notice unconsciousness, energy bubbling up, just giving it space, giving it grace, letting yourself be human. It's totally natural and normal. It's okay. And then coming back to your belly, chest, exhale. If at any point you start to experience what's called tetany, just know that this is totally natural and normal. What it is, tetany is just like a tightness or a tingling or a crampy kind of feeling around the mouth or in the fingers or the hands or the arms. Sometimes even in like the legs or the feet. And sometimes people have described feeling maybe even like a little bit like glued to the floor or the bed. And this is just a sign that the process, the science of the breath work of your body is working for you. It's totally natural and normal. I love getting tetany because it's a sign that I'm doing the work. It's happening. All that stored, stuck, either little trauma or big trauma in the body is collecting up to come out, to be released. So you can help it by moaning, toning, groaning, sighing, screaming, crying, expressing. You can massage yourself if you want to. You can just trust and know and even maybe enjoy that this process is happening for you. And you can always back off for a song or two. Just know that you're in control. You can take your foot off the gas anytime you want to. You can get off the ride, so to speak. So that's tetany. There's also information about tetany on Sage and Blush Wellness website. Primal Scream. So Primal Scream is an opportunity to override the logic brain that wants to try and take over and say, you don't need to do this, or you need a reason, and then tries to search for the reason. The primal scream is an opportunity to override the ego that wants to keep us, that tries to keep us, small in quotes, safe, that doesn't want to allow us to come out of our box. It's an opportunity to override the people-pleasing tendencies, meaning that we're more concerned about other people, neighbors, roommates, family around us, and their comfortability than we are about honoring and being in our own alignment and truth. So at the expense of that, we're trying to make sure they're comfortable. And it's not really fair to them or to us because we're making an assumption that they want us to not be free. And I think ultimately, First of all, people don't care as much as we want to think that they do about what noises we're making in the other room. They probably can't even hear you. Second of all, their soul ultimately wants your freedom. And so, really, they'll thank you, whether they consciously, verbally thank you or not, their soul will thank you. Because when you release and when you align and when you express and when you allow yourself to be balanced through that expression and you give your body what it's needing, everyone benefits in the small to the large, the micro to the macro. Everyone benefits. So it's really for everyone, the collective. And so I encourage you to allow yourself 100% permission to go for it, to make some noise, and know that this is your space, to take up space, to have a voice, to take any sort of heavy fear, frustration, overwhelm, anxiety, low self-esteem thoughts, rage, pain, struggle, suffering. And it doesn't have to just be yours. I encourage you to tap into the collective struggle, the collective suffering on our planet, and really allow yourself to, it can be from the depths of your being, from your gut. It can be like a low guttural rebirthing sound, like it could be like a kriya, like a cry of the soul. It could be, fuck you, dad. Whatever needs to come out and wants to come out when you get rid of all of those blockages is so perfect. So play around with it, experiment. You can use your pillow, you can turn over and use the mattress, and really allow yourself to vocalize and go for it. And if you feel a little bit shy about it, just tone at least. Just at least give yourself that tone. And so what can happen is it can be the most absolutely cathartic experience you've ever had. It really can be that so beneficial. It can be like a complete heartgasm, like a full rush and flush of your energies and warmth and tingling and rush of flow of energy coming up and in and out of the body. It can feel so healing and amazing. And then also, you don't have to accidentally have road rage or take it out on your dog or your friend or your kid or your parent. It really allows you to fully empty. And usually, we're not even aware of how much that needs to be emptied. So it allows you to fully empty. And then we will have a freestyle, usually freestyle song. So this is like just like a fun, upbeat song, usually. And I encourage you to do what feels good. So don't get up really fast. You might feel lightheaded, but you could dance, throw your arms in the air, wiggle your body, get into your hips, get into your butt. Really stretch and move and shake it all out. And breathe, give, belly, chest, exhale, or rest, whatever feels good. And then we'll have our rest and receive. This is like a shavasana in yoga. Just we'll switch to breathing in and out of just the nose. I'll usually write a poem and I'll share that with you, or I'll read an excerpt from something. And then I'll turn off the recording for the library recording. It's not recording the video of you, but it just records my voice. And then if you feel called to share, people sometimes like to share what their experience has been, and sometimes they don't. So totally up to you. There's no pressure about that. And that's it. So then I'll invoke the healing Buddha. I do a prayer of, I now invoke the healing Buddha and the master spirits of Reiki. Please allow me to be a pure and clear channel. Let me go forward without fear, but with love and honor for all, for the highest and best good. And then I walk you through a grounding and running energy, a visualization, a sensory visualization. And then I encourage you to show up for yourself, because that's the hardest part, is just getting there and then showing up for yourself. And then I start playing the music and we start breathing. Belly, chest, exhale. And you find your rhythm, you find your pace. We go on that journey together. I do the primal scream with you and I mute. And then at the end, obviously, people pretty much always feel absolutely incredible, blissed out, amazing. So you can do this as often as you want. You could do it every day. You could do it once a week. You could do it once a month. It's still beneficial. I so look forward to holding space for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Syria@sageandblushwellness.com. And I very much look forward to walking you through, holding space for you on your journey. Have a beautiful rest of your day.